Dear Aquila, my sister, it's been a while since I've caught you up on my crazy adventure out west. I'm not sure how much Mom has told you, but it's been a life-changing time for me. So grab yourself a tea and a snack, because I'm going back to the beginning to tell you the story. To kick us off, let me explain to you the map. This here is where it all started. A tiny cabin in the boonies of cowboy country, Montana, and there were a lot of cowboys. I was not complaining. And this was home base for the duration of my van life. You know the Whitakers already. It's their place. And of course, this truck, fondly named Mr. Ford. Even though my name isn't on the title, he was mine to use for as long as I liked.
You like my new whip? This is my Ford Excursion 2006 four-wheel drive baby. And this is where I'm gonna be living for the next month at least, I think. And there is a lot of prepping. Oh my God.
You already know about my sailboat trip with those 10 strangers, Quill, who are definitely not strangers anymore, but you'll remember Finn and Luke. They were to be my buddies on this trip, living in their own individual rigs and traveling with me throughout the national parks.
All right, the adventure begins. Today is day one of starting van life. I have everything ready, I think. I don't know, the thing is I still am getting everything set, so I don't know if I have everything, but I have camera batteries, camera equipment, food, cooking stuff. I think I'll be good. I think I'm pretty well prepared.
Luke liked to call my setup one step above homeless. And I mean, I didn't think so, but I guess Mr. Ford didn't really look like much.
Like a cranium that rests on the spine. Darling, it's alright. You do the thinking and I'll do the
So even though I did look a little homeless, Mr. Ford started to feel like home pretty quickly. And that's when we made our way up to Glacier National Park.
Was never meant to keep us alive, but in the end,
While here, we met so many people and created this little group of friends all doing van life. We would go up into the national park together, do some crazy hikes, and then all congregate back again in the evening to have a fire and really just chat. We stayed here all the way from August 2nd to the 16th, about 10 days more than we thought we would. So then we made our way to Canada.
Good morning, everybody. Today is the day. Today we're going to Canada! Woo! My home sweet home. We're literally 14 minutes from the border right now. So close. And we're just about to cross over and begin the trek up to the Canadian National Parks and say goodbye to Glacier. Alright, you guys. It is 7:38 a.m. right now. Literally one of the earliest days we've gotten up thus far. It's gonna be so cool because I've wanted to go to this side of Canada for actually it's been number one on my bucket list for eons. And I cannot, caught with my thumb. And I cannot believe that it's happening. So, yeah, today is gonna be a really exciting day. Doing all this traveling and planning for our routes and campsites is reminding me of a trip I took last year in Europe where I was the planner for me and four of my friends' trip through Italy and Switzerland. And my data carrier charged me $100 to have data for a month, and I paid it. But if I had known about the sponsor of today's video, Saley, it would have saved me a lot of money and, in the end, hassle. Saley is an eSIM company with global and regional plans. So basically it's like a local data plan for wherever you are, but it's all online. So no fiddling with the little SIM cards, which are super easy to lose and hard to get in because you have to like get the earring and like, none of that. all you do is download the app, select the data plan that's right for you, and then download the eSIM, and you're good to go. Whenever you land in your location, it's going to automatically start, and you don't even have to think about it. So, if you want an exclusive 15% off using my code GStories, go to Saley.com/glorystories, and you already know it's all in the description too. So Saley, thank you for being the sponsor of today's video. Let's keep going.
Aquila, as much as it was cool being back in Canada, it wasn't everything I hoped it would be. I mean, it was still cool and we had good times, but it did cost about $175 for just one tank of diesel, and the national park felt more like a tourist trap than a beautiful, untouched piece of landscape.
We made it to Moraine Lake. Can't see the lake yet, but we're getting close.
Just know, guys, if you're gonna come to Banff, just don't sleep. That's just like rule number one.
Even with all the crowds and rules, we still had a really good time. It just didn't feel like the country I remember growing up in.
You guys, it's been kind of a crazy week. Last week we left Glacier National Park, drove into Canada. I broke my lens, and then we kept driving, and then I broke my laptop, and then we kept driving, and after all of that, I have finally found myself in Banff National Park and at Moraine Lake. Woo! Look at that. Just look at that. So there's this picture, right? It's on a Canadian $30 coin. So we don't typically have $30 coins, but it's a specialty mint. And it's a picture of Moraine Lake with the mountain still snow-capped. And it was taken by my favorite creator at the time, Peter McGinnon. And ever since I saw that coin and saw his video, I have been longing to come to Moraine Lake. And so even though it's kind of a tourist trap right now, I woke up at 3:30 a.m., drove over here to see this view. And it's wild. Oh my gosh.
I will say I think Canada has the most beautiful mountains though. Better than any other place we visited. I'm sure you've heard about what happened next, Aquila. It was a terrible accident, and I've gone over and thought about it time and time again to see what I could have done differently, to see what I should have done to have stopped something like this from happening. I wasn't ready for truck life in Mr. Ford to be over yet, but obviously it was my own stupidity that led me there, so there's really no one else to blame but myself.
Oh gosh.
Like, so there's that.
Yeah, that's
That.
good.
The bumper's a little messed up.
This,
On the panel, that's bad.
this is gonna, well, obviously the mirror's broke. Well, this is gonna be really expensive.
Man. Look where you hit that thing. Jeez.
That's why I was in the
That
front.
was wild.
Oh shoot.
You were up there, dude?
Yeah.
The culprits were 3 elk. They jumped right in the middle of the road as we were driving, and I had no choice but to hit all 3. The damage would have been worse if it was in Luke or Finn's vehicle, but it did still render Mr. Ford to the shop, which I didn't know at the time, but that would be the end of truck life in Mr. Ford for me.
Luke, what?
Oh, just leaning into the dent. Whoops.
At this point, I was pretty unsure what to do. I mean, my whole plan had to do with the truck, and with Mr. Ford in the shop, I was pretty confused. Mom and Dad had previously planned to come out and visit me in the Tetons for a while, so we decided to go through with that trip, and from there, I just winged it.
Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the move. Some are happy, some are sad. Oh, we gotta let the music play. What the people need is a way to make them smile. It ain't so hard to do if you know how.
So at this point, I was just chilling at the cabin, doing my thing, while waiting for Mr. Ford to be out of the shop. And that's when I saw a text from Renee. Now, Luke had gotten in a pretty bad mountain biking accident. He did a lot of damage to his pelvis, his spleen, his breastplate, and his collarbone. Now, before you get all annoyed at me for not giving you all the details, I did talk about more what happened in my previous video, and Luke also shared his perspective on his channel. Now here's how this is applicable to this story, Aquila. He asked me to drive his truck home to Florida for him so he could recover without having to worry about it. I told him I would, but that I would take my time going through Utah and Colorado before I really pushed the drive south to Florida. He agreed, so then the rest of the story picks up here, in Salt Lake City.
Yo! This is a new rig. Oh my god! Let's go, dude! We made it to Tahomey, which is Luke's truck. Listen, I am going to have to reorganize everything because I have so much more stuff. I had to take lots of the stuff from my own rig because I have to take it, blah, 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 all that stuff. Way too many things. So we're gonna get some food, we're gonna find a cool drive, and then we're probably gonna like unpack everything and just organize. I have to say I'm really, really happy to be back on the road and doing van life.
And it felt good to have my friend Isabella with me for even a short time. Pretty good, eh?
Pretty awesome.
Not too bad.
This is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. I'm loving this so much. Alright folks, we're about to do something fun and stupid. First of all, we're in the Salt Flats. Salt Flats outside of Salt Lake City. They're beautiful, they're lovely, they're amazing. Do you have any more adjectives?
Think of Antarctica, but
Hot.
80 degrees.
Yeah, it's real nice. Instead of just telling you what we're gonna do, I figured I would just show you what we're gonna do. Here's a little hint, okay? That's a hint. Isabella, if you get hurt or injured or...
I won't sue anyone, I promise, because this was my idea in the first place.
Am I holding you to gunpoint?
I think
to get
I'm
you to
holding
say
you to
this?
gunpoint to let me do this.
Okay.
Not moving fast enough. Why can't we go the speed of about to lose my cool? And girl, I'm about to lose my mind.
The flats lasted a few days before it was time for me to head south to Zion National Park.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Narrows in Zion, Utah. I have wanted to do this hike for a while and today is so freaking cold, but I managed to get a friend to come with me. It is really beautiful. It is rather cold, but it's so pretty. And I'm just rocking shorts and chacos, baby. Let's go.
In the span of 5 days, I did the Canyon Overlook Trail in Zion National Park, Angel's Landing in Zion National Park, the Narrows, Gooseberry Hike in Canyonlands, and the Devil's Garden in Arches National Park. 5 days, 5 national park hikes. That was amazing.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Glory Stories. Just like me and in fashion, I have found a lovely camp spot tonight. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
As much as I loved it, the solitary nights and all the hikes were starting to get to me. I was feeling pretty overwhelmed with work, and just being alone was getting exhausting. So I definitely learned that I was hitting my limit and getting more and more frustrated.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory Stories. Today I am in Moab Desert. Now, step one of successfully doing truck life has... These four-wheelers are crazy. Now, step one of successfully doing truck life... Please shut up. Now, step one of success... Okay. Can you please leave? I was really hoping to get in a proper shower tonight. I prepped the rinse kit and everything. I would love to wash my hair and my body. I just wonder if it's a little too cold.
On these nights, I found myself typically setting up the Starlink and calling friends or family, and it definitely helped to keep the loneliness at bay. I mean, for these Moab campsites, they were the best and super pretty, but they were literally out in the middle of nowhere. Only me and the four-wheelers dared to be there. For the sake of the story, I'm going to head past Colorado and go right to Mom and Dad's house in Kansas City. This is where the backstory stops and the new story really begins. You know, it's kind of funny that Mom and Dad are not campers in the least, but yet somehow always seem to be down for an adventure. Dad said he didn't want me to be alone on the road and offered to join me for the last half of the trip.
Okay, so right now on our drive, we are in Illinois. So Dad, what made you want to go on this road trip with me? You know I'm a little crazy. What did it for you?
It's called Carpe Diem, seize the day. You know, why not? I mean, I'm only young once. Am I still young?
Sure.
It's probably because I can, because I could. It didn't seem logical, but it seemed like it was doable.
Within the first day, my dad and I made our way all the way through Missouri and into Illinois. By the late afternoon, we were pretty ready to find a spot to stop for the night and go for a little walk.
Okay, to save me from the afternoon sleeps, we have stopped over in a national forest in Illinois, and we're gonna go for a hike. What do we have, Dad?
Really?
0.1 of a mile.
0.1 mile.
0.1 mile.
I think we can do better than that.
I think so too. Right now we are at the Garden of the Gods, but in Illinois this time. It was only like last week that I was at the Garden of the Gods in Colorado, so I'm not sure which one came first, you know, the hen or the egg, but they are both lovely and beautiful, and we're having a great time going for a little walk. So this is a perfect road trip stop up, I think. Welcome to our home for the night. We have actually just found a parking lot.
Do you mean parking lot or camping spot?
We are in a parking lot,
We're also in a camping spot.
unofficially.
But we parked and we're camping.
It's true, and it is our home for the night. So
With the bears and the bees and the birds and the
birds.
butterflies. Hopefully not too many bear.
we're going to whip up some dinner, start a fire. I could use either some caffeine or a nap, and it's gonna be such a good time. So let's go. Guys, I'm tired. I have not been getting enough sleep being at my parents' house because they have unlimited Wi-Fi, and I started watching this show that's really good, and now I just stay up too late. So
But we've decided to blame it on the Cracker Barrel pancake
Pancakes.
and maybe the fact that it's too much gluten.
maybe I should go gluten-free. I just love my food. Oh, that's perfect. My favorite food ever is steak. And doing it over the fire tonight, so good. I could never, ever be vegan. This is prime. So many people when they go camping, they just eat ramen or whip up like freeze-dried meals. I think I have probably eaten better while living on the road than I ever did living at home. I don't know my goodness. I'm not actually kidding you. I think that I cook much more on the road than I did when I was living by myself. Ooh. You're waiting inside. I'll be fine.
day. Sleep well.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gloriana.
We slept in a lot, didn't we?
Well, you slept in a little bit more than I did.
So we are currently just packing everything up and we're going to begin on our drive. I didn't want to sleep in this late and I wanted to get on the road a little bit earlier, but I think I needed to sleep. I needed to catch some more Z's. This morning we're having the breakfast of champions. Cold pressed juice, baby. Let's go.
Factor.
So we're just following the GPS, right? And we pull up to a place and it says to take the ferry. And I said, take a ferry? I had no intention of taking a ferry. Who knew that Illinois would make us take a ferry?
This ferry crossed the waters that divided Illinois and Kentucky. So as soon as I crossed over, I would be in my 6th of 9 states on this road trip.
Let's go, we're on a ferry. A little scenic detour never did anybody any dirty, huh?
We did it, Glory. Look at this. This is cool. We're on Lonnie Joe.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with.
Good morning, folks. It is about 8:20 a.m. on November the 3rd. It's our last push. My dad woke up really early for some reason and we started driving way too early. And now we only have about an hour and a bit, about an hour and a half until we get to the Florida Springs, which is where my dad and I plan to stop for a day. And then that's only about 2 hours from Orlando. So in total, we're only about 3 hours from Orlando right now. It looks like we have arrived. We made it to Florida, and better yet, we made it to the Florida Springs. I feel so much pride in knowing that the road trip from Salt Lake City all the way down to Florida is almost done. Honestly, the brunt of it is done because we just decided to take a little pit stop today and enjoy the Springs. So come with me to go and see what the Springs look like on Luke's one wheel.
I believe what the point is enjoying who you share it with. Enjoying who you share it with.
Oh, that's really nice. It has been 3 days too long of a lot of time driving and I'm not showering, so it's time to jump in the water. Oh,
Bon appetit. Thank you, Jesus.
thank you for cooking.
Lord, thank you for your provision.
How do you feel being in Florida?
A little surreal.
Really? Like in a good way or a bad way?
No, it's fine. Feel good.
Fine? Has it felt long?
No, it hasn't at all.
This was kind of a breeze. Like I could keep doing this for days.
So is it easier to camp with somebody or on your own?
It's more fun to camp with somebody for sure. So what is a concoction that you whipped up for us today?
Eggs, hash browns, Gruyere cheese, and a tortilla, and Chick-fil-A sauce. Not Swiss chalet, but Chick-fil-A.
No one knows what Swiss chalet is.
Well, Canadians will get it.
This feels so good.
I said before that this was an adventure that changed my life, and I meant it. Those tiny moments have the tendency to stick with me more than even the big ones. It's the first deep breath of crisp morning air, or the conversations around the fire with strangers, Or maybe it's the exhilarating feeling of jumping in a freezing cold lake, but all those experiences become key shaping moments in my life. Driving around the country, whether in a Ford truck or a Toyota one, put life into perspective for me. Maybe my issues really aren't as big as they once seemed to be, and maybe the solution is just not to give up. So, my dear sister, as I pull into Orlando, Florida, and realize that my road trip is coming to an end, I hope to take these lessons with me. I want to be a different person in regular life than I was before, and who knows, maybe I'll get to go back to living on the road at some point.
Oh! Let's go! Look at that! I delivered it safe and sound.
It's finally here!
Oh,
Thank you!
I made it to Orlando.
Gosh, and it's safe. It's not broken from first glance. It looks good.
Just wait till you see the back. Just kidding.
Oh gosh. Ah, snap!
Delivery service is done. That's for you. The homie's back and safe.
She's back! Glory got my car back!
Yeah, you only have a maintenance light on. I had to check your oil, and I definitely broke the back of your bike rack, but that's it. That is it.
That's why you don't let women drive your car.
Oh my god, don't be so misogynistic.
Get off of that.
I will fix what I break, I promise.
Well, you know what? For all the damage that did happen, it's pretty good overall. So it was a success having Glory bring my car. Thank you, Glory.
I'm the cheapest delivery service that you could have probably found.
I don't know.
And so that takes me to where I'm at right now, Aquila. Sitting at a beach in Florida, writing this to you. Say hi to Yannick and the kids for me. I can't wait to see you all at Christmas. Signing out. I love you. Glory.
Darling, if you don't mind, I'll take your hand tonight. We could just slow down.